Howdy YouTube, Preds fan 89 here. Just coming on make a quick update video for game 4 of the round 2 playoff series between the Preds and the Coyotes. Huge game for the Preds, I think even bigger than last game, which ended up being a crazy good game. I had the opportunity to go, as probably you can hear if you're watching this. My voice is a little hoarse. Like I said, I had a chance to go to the game. It was my first playoff game. Great game from starting. I think got to give Bridgestone Arena and management a lot of props. The laser show, which is kind of off topic, but it was great. And I feel like that really set the tone and energy in the arena for the rest of the night. It seemed to really get people amped up. It got me amped up. And the bridge was rocking from the get go. There was times when the noise died down, but one of the main times when it was at its loudest, which if anyone was there, I'm sure they'd agree, was in the third when the Coyotes had their two-man advantage and Pex was just standing on his head. And I mean, I was just screaming at the top of my lungs, and everyone was just going nuts. And I think that's good. I feel like we need to be that loud every single game. I feel like if you're loud, the person next to you feeds off that, and then when everyone's loud, the players feed off that as well. And we got to give our boys any advantage we can. Being down 2-0, that was real big for us to come out. Oh, excuse me. That was really big for us to be able to come out and get the shutout and kind of not necessarily maybe take back the momentum, but kind of slow the roll of the Coyotes. Because they were clicking in the first two games. But yeah, I just wanted to come on, say the keys I think to this game and keys moving on in the future. Well, probably my biggest focal point, and I don't know if a lot of people would agree, but I felt like it was a huge thing in Game 3, was our physical play. Jordan Tutu, Brandon Yip, Matt Halishuk, all those guys played a very physical game. And I could tell that when we started bringing the physical play, it started getting the Coyotes off their game, and they started maybe kind of making plays that they wouldn't normally, bad passes, taking bad penalties, maybe because they're frustrated. And I feel like that's huge for us, is to come out of the gate and pop them in the mouth every chance we get. Hit them in the forecheck, take the body. Another big person that we need to, step up physically, or not necessarily step up, but to just bring his physical game every night. Shea Weber, Frankie Bouillon, Kevin Klein. These guys can really make it hard for the Phoenix forwards and anyone else coming into our zone, and really make them pay a price that I feel like will help us in the long run. You got to wear out the other teams coming at you, and like I said, we got to make them pay a price. Toots, though, I was very impressed. You could really tell he hadn't really had a chance to come up and play, and I'm sure he was a little upset about that. Oh, excuse me. I had an early morning this morning. I'm not gonna disagree with Trotz's, choice not to play Tutu. I feel like he had a pretty good season, but he did hit a little drought. And if you're not hitting your drought, or if you're in a drought and you're not really producing as much as you need to be or you should be, you know, that's a coach's job, is to put the people that he feels can best produce and help his team win. So that's what Charts was doing. But you could really see Toots' passion in there. I mean, he came out, he was laying hits on people. He had a couple good shots, a couple good passes that almost could have been goals. Another person that hadn't had a chance to play recently was Colin Wilson, or C. Willie. I feel like he's very talented. He's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, offensive person that the Predators have. I really like Martin Erat, but I just like C. Willie. He's a big kid, good hands. Doesn't mind taking the body, fast skater, good forechecker, and hasn't been able to find the back of the net yet. But he's had a lot of good chances, and I feel like if we keep him in the lineup, only good things are going to happen from that. But like I said, physical play, I feel like that's going to be probably one of the biggest things we need to do, because that sets the tempo for the whole game. Can get the other team off their game, and that's huge. We want Phoenix to be off their game and playing on their heels. We want to set the pace and set the tone the entire game, not just one period or 2 periods. We want to come at them and wear them out for 60 minutes. Another thing we got to clean up that was a lot better in the third game three than the first two games, but we got to watch our turnovers. We got to make passes tape to tape, nice, crisp, clean, quick passes, and we got to do that getting out of our zone, especially that first pass has to be good. I feel like if our defense plays well and boxes out well and doesn't get caught watching and keeps a majority of the shots to the outside, Pex will do the rest. I mean, you saw it in game three. I mean, we play defense. Pex can handle the workload and he can shut down teams single-handedly, or not single-handedly, but he can shut down teams and stop pretty much anything if the defense is playing halfway decent in front of him. As far as offense, we've had a lot of chances. We kind of whiffed on a lot of shots, or not a lot, but I saw a few that we whiffed on last time. That, I'm not saying you got to score every time you get a chance, but if you get a good chance, you got to need to make sure that you're making that goalie earn his paycheck. We can't be getting it and throwing it wide every time we get a quality chance. Because Mike Smith is playing great. I won't take anything away from that. But we have shown that we can score on him, and we have been scoring on him. Anytime we score 3 goals, we should win. And a good representation of that is our defense played well in game 3. We had some timely goals. I honestly believe that goal they called back on us was a goal. So you can't help that. But 2 goals, there's no reason why we can't hold them to 2 or less, or 1 or less. Our defense is good enough to do that. I feel like that's a combination of physical play and set the tone for the entire game. Make their forwards know if they come in the zone, they're gonna pay a price. If the forwards think they can just waltz in and pass all around, and we're just gonna let them have all that, then they'll be able to make plays, and they'll have time to make plays, and they'll end up scoring. I'm trying to think of some of the. I think someone who I think is really going to come out in this game, I believe Tutu will have a great game again. And I believe Marty Erat is going to have a big game, along with Ryan Suter. A lot of times my predictions aren't right, but I do feel like just from seeing what they were doing last game, Suter, now I'm not saying he's going to have a ton of points on the scoreboard or anything. I think he might have an assist. But I feel like he's really honed in his game and really played solid. Oh, man, I'm about to take a nap. But I feel like he's played solid and played a great positional game and hasn't really made a lot of mistakes. As anyone knows, as a Preds fan, Suter is more positional play rather than physical play. Weber is the more physical defenseman rather than, say, a positional. So I feel like that's why there's such a good line. Weber, not to say he's not a good position player, but we can also use him to step up too. We need him to bring the body. Like I said, anytime their forwards come in, lay the boom on them. Also, bring that cannon. Like I said before, make Mike Smith earn his paycheck. Don't make the shots easy for him to save. Bring that, and also I'm not. It's gonna sound dirty or whatever, but when you're making the players block Weber shots, they can only do that for so long. I mean, I'm not saying go out there and hurt them, but I don't see many people taking a Weber shot to the stomach or the side of the leg and keep coming back for more and more. Maybe a second time, but I don't think you're going to be able to handle too much more of that. But my video is getting long. I didn't want it to get over 9 minutes, but I'm over that. Like I said, hopefully we can come out with the same fire we came out with in the game 3. Get some timely goals, and hopefully we can come out and set the pace for 60 minutes and get a good effort in from the boys. And I'm not going to be able to make it to the game tonight. I'll definitely be watching it. Anyone going to the game, make sure you're cheering extra loud. And good luck to any NHL fans out there on YouTube, and especially the Preds fans. Have a good one and peace out.